Hello everyone, it's MW2 here, and today doing my yearly video talking about the new COD, or relatively. Been doing it most of the last few years. I might have I might have missed Vanguard, honestly. I don't even remember, but usually yearly video where I talk about the new game, see how it is, thoughts on it, pros, cons, all that stuff. So I want to get right into it because I want to do it all in this one gameplay, and I want to get through as much as I possibly can. So I want to start off with the pros. I like the movement in this game. I like the feel of it. Some people have found it like clunky. That's a complaint I've seen a lot. And in some ways, there are some areas where I think it could be improved. I don't think that's necessarily untrue, but in general, I'm a fan of it, mostly because of the lack of slide cancel. I also think the dolphin dive is fun. I think it's a fun addition, but mostly because of the slide cancel not being a thing. That is a massive upgrade, and I am a big fan of that just being done with. The next thing, I think the guns look and feel good, which is, pretty important for a shooter. But yeah, the guns, they look good, the animations are solid, they sound good, and again, like, feel good to use. They have a nice, like, balance with how the weapons fit into, like, different playstyles and stuff like that, and that's something that they did a good job with in MW19. I think they did a good job with in this game as well. Like, the different guns definitely fit different playstyles, and again, just satisfying to shoot, and that's pretty important for a shooter, so I like them so far. Another thing, the SPMM doesn't seem as intense or engagement-based matchmaking, whichever one it is. I'm pretty sure engagement-oriented would be the more proper term, because I think that's what they use in public matches. So if you want to be super technical, the engagement-based matchmaking doesn't seem as bad in this game, doesn't seem as intense. MW19 felt like every single game was hard SBMM, felt like it was trying to keep everybody at a 1.0. Obviously, some people are just good and they're going to get away from that, but it felt like that's what it would try to do a lot of the times. In this game, it feels closer to classic COD, where you might have a good player, couple good players on either team, you might have a few average players, you might have a couple that are like bad on each team. That's not always the case. Have gotten some pretty sweaty games, have gotten some really bad games where a lot of people are not that great. I've gotten both. That wasn't really the case in MW19. That wouldn't really happen. In this game, it seems like, so far, I actually do get a variety, which I am a fan of. So again, the matchmaking doesn't seem as bad so far. The maps are decent. I've seen a lot of complaints about the maps. I think this is a popular trend of every shooter game the last 5 years, is just a new shooter game, is just to complain about the maps. I swear, that's all people do, is just complain about the maps. And for me personally, there are some obvious bad ones. Like, yes, obviously the car map is a meme and it's bad. Yeah, 100%, obviously. But in general, I actually think most of the maps in this game are decent or okay. And there's a couple that are pretty good. The one that I'm playing on in this video, the F1 map, Crown Raceway, this is my personal favorite. Are any of these maps going to be like classic maps that I look back on and years down and be like, oh man, I miss playing that map? Probably not, but I think most of them are like decent and playable. Again, not classics, not amazing, but not as bad as people are making them out to be, I would say. When I get frustrated at stuff in this game, it's generally not the map design, it's usually other stuff. The camos look good. I think the camos look really good in this game. I think it's the best looking camos in the last 4 or 5 CODs, and there's some really cool ones that I'm looking forward to unlocking. The game in general, I've been having fun, having a decent time so far. Like the Halo update just came out. Big thing for me with Forge and stuff like that, and honestly, after putting in a little grind session on this game the other day, I was looking forward to getting back on this game pretty quickly after getting on Halo. That game has so many issues that are worse than this game's issues, in my opinion. So many things that still need to be worked on, and it got me tilted pretty quickly, and I was looking forward to playing this game instead. So that should say a lot. Good. I think there's a good variety of the lethals and tacticals. This is a weird little thing that usually isn't commented on, but there's a lot of different nade choice in this game, which is pretty cool. So those were, I rapid fired a lot of the pros. There might be some other things that I forgot, but those were the main things, the big things that I wanted to mention. got those out of the way. So let's go to the cons. No red dots in the minimap. Why? I don't know why Infinity Ward is so intent on doing this. I don't know why this is the way things have been MW19 and now this game. All it does is hurt the flow of the game. I don't get it. Bring the red dots in the minimap back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dead Silence as a field upgrade. Stupid. Absolutely ruins. Oh, and also like a tie-in with this footstep audio being too loud. So these two are tied together. But footstep audio is way too loud in general, and Dead Silence as a field upgrade is stupid. Make it a perk. If you're going to make it a perk and you want there to be a counter, fine, make a counter. Add in awareness, add in sit rep pro. Make a perk that makes footsteps louder. Like give a counter. If it's that big of a problem, make a counter perk. But just give me a way to have Dead Silence all the time. This absolutely ruins Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy gameplay with Dead Silence as a field upgrade is terrible, especially with how loud the base footstep audio is. So there either needs to be Dead Silence needs to be a perk. Get rid of it from the field upgrade option. And if they don't do that, at least reduce the base footstep audio even more than they already have, because they've done it since the beta and like to the full game as well, and I still think it's way too loud. Weird perk system. You get 4 perks in this game, but you start every game with only 2 of them, and you unlock the other 2 one at a time progressively throughout the game. And I'm not even sure exactly what triggers it. Like if that actually increases the rate at which you unlock. I don't know. I'm not sure. It seems random. It seems arbitrary. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it because, again, it's another thing that hurts the flow of the game. I don't understand why I can't just have my perks on right away. Reason why it hurts the flow of the game. Well, for one, it makes the UAV like the best streak in pubs because Ghost, you don't have Ghost right away. And that's another thing, like one of the biggest perks in pubs is Ghost, so you can stay off the radar of those UAVs and stuff like that. But the thing is, Ghost is like the last perk that you get. So for the first half of the game, a lot of the people I feel like are playing super slow to get their UAVs, or if there's UAVs already up, you know, hold a pre-aim or something because you can't flank, they know where you are because you don't have Ghost. So, or you don't have Quick Fix, your other OP perk, whatever, you know, the big perk that you get is. Like, I think it's another thing that hurts the pace of the game, and I also just think it's unnecessary. Like another, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are we waiting to unlock perks? But yeah, particularly for like Ghost, it's really frustrating. But for a lot of the other ones, it's really frustrating too. I don't really get it. Don't know why it's there. Don't like the perk system. Not sure about the camo system. It's different in this game. The way that you unlock camos for different guns. It's a lot different, and I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a straight con yet, but I still put it in the con section. But I'm just like not really sure about it if I like it yet. I'm not really sure. I'm leaning towards not liking it, but I'm not really too sure yet. I do not like the progression system. That I can say emphatically. Like I definitely do not like the progression system. Don't get me wrong, leveling up like the M4 to like 70 weapon levels in MW19 was frustrating. Absolutely. But I think that not being able to use every attachment on my M4 when I have the weapon level on that gun maxed out and having to use literally like 20 other weapons to unlock all the attachments for my M4 just so I can test out shit with my M4, I think it's just as bad, if not worse. I'm not a fan of the progression system. I think there's good intentions behind it, wanting people to use the different weapons. I get it. But I think it's frustrating. I just want to use, for example, my M4, unlock attachments for it, and be able to like get them all and test around with them. I don't want to have to get to weapon level 12 or whatever with 30 different guns just so I can test around with everything on my M4. I don't like the progression system. I think it's, again, just as bad, if not worse, than MW19 with like the 50 weapon levels. Gunsmith is bad. I think Gunsmith has been getting worse game by game. I think MW19's version of the Gunsmith was the best, and I still do. In this game, they have weapon tuning in this game, but it seems like a gimmick. I don't really think it does a whole lot, and I think it's been proven that it doesn't really do a whole lot, so the weapon tuning is gimmicky. And so many of the attachments, it's just, I think the attachments are too focused on the cons and not enough about the pros, and I hate how bad a lot of the attachments make your gun feel, especially mobility-wise. Like, almost every attachment hurts ADS speed, or movement speed, or sprint out time. Like, one of those 3 things. And hurting those 3 things makes the game feel a lot worse, but just the benefits that you get from a lot of these attachments, it's still worth it a lot of the time. Sometimes, though, it's not. Sometimes, I don't even think the benefits are worth it. The cons are so heavy. So, yeah. In general, I get that you want things to fit to different playstyles, but in general, I think the attachments should serve to make the guns better. And a lot of the times, no attachments or few attachments, like 2 or 3, feels better than loading up your gun, which is just dumb. So I don't really like the gunsmith. Last thing, visibility. I think the visibility is better than MW19. Maybe it's just me, but I still have trouble seeing people sometimes. I still think people blend into the environment sometimes. Oh, the maps are like more colorful too. You can tell on this map especially, like they're a little more vibrant. I like that. But that being said, I still think I wish it could stick out a little bit more. Have something like the red lights in Black Ops 4 where players would stick out a little more. I'm not really too sure. But wrapping it up here at the end, that's all I have for my pros and cons. I would give the game like a 6 out of 10 right now. I think it could be an 8 with good updates and content added. I'm not sure if Infinity Ward is going to make those updates or if there's going to be enough content, if it's just going to be like Warzone 2 focused. I don't know, but I think it could be. Right now, I think it's better than Vanguard and MW19, but I don't think it's as good as Cold War. If you want something to turn your brain off and shoot things, game could be good for you right now. I'm having fun, but we'll see where I am in a few months. But yeah, I just turn off my brain, run around, shoot. That's what I use this game for. So if that's what you're looking for and not like going for a competitive experience, because every shooter is a competitive game, every game is a competitive game now, I think it's good for that. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Those main cons, the red dots, the dead silence, change those. I think already the game could be way better if you just change those 2 things. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Decent game, not great, not terrible. If you just want to run around and shoot stuff, have a fast time to kill, a fast-moving game, then might be for you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I want to go more in depth on a lot of these things in future videos, so let me know if you'd like to see that, because I do kind of want to do that. I was just kind of rapid-firing things in this one, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.